I'm Melina, and these are Miriam, Ricky, and Carlos, and we are Lightbike. Lightbike is an electric-powered urban vehicle that allows you to move around the city through either pedaling or resting while the engine works. There are different models of the Lightbike. For example, the premium rickshaw with a USB port where you can charge your cell phone, for example. You can pick up your Lightbike from any light station and where they are being charged, and we also have light parks that are the bigger versions of the light stations, which generate a surplus of solar energy that can get back to the grid of the city. We also provide a service of a mobile application through which you can see which station is closer to you, and therefore you can go and pick up your Lightbike.
The business model behind Lightbike is the following. On the one hand side, you have the suppliers, which are component providers, because Lightbike actually purchases the parts for the bike, as well as for the docking stations from its suppliers, meaning this includes the bike itself, the battery, the geosensors, as well as the additional features such as USB hubs for cell phone chargers, and of course the docking stations and the solar panels for them. Then we have Lightbike. Lightbike comes in the value chain, has the position to actually assemble the parts and then distribute the assembled bike to the selected cities and countries. And by distribution, it doesn't only mean to get them into the countries, but actually to maintain the docking stations and the bikes, as well as to reallocate them so that there's a steady circulation of bikes, and at any time and any point in the city there's always a sufficient capacity of bikes. And then at the end, once the customers will use them, we have two groups of customers that we attract. On the one hand side, regular users that are also that are also members on our website, and we mostly want to attract the workforce in megacities here. And on the other hand, more occasional users, such as tourists who will use them for a longer period of travel. Our customers benefit in multiple ways. On the one hand side, they can get really fast from A to B, from their starting point to their workplace, and while at the same time maintaining their elegance and not having to take a shower once they get there, since they don't have to sweat by pedaling. Another value we add is that we actually, it's a kind of a luxury comfort due to the fact that we add things like the cell phone chargers to the bike. And so in total we combine values that before cars only added, and we combine the values of bikes and cars. And that can kind of help cities to further or to foster the acceptance of an electric transportation system in the long run or in the big picture, and even the way to electric cars. So, but it's not only the customers that benefit from our product, but also the government. They save costs due to less accidents caused by bikes instead of by cars, and also less emissions and noise. And they also help to solve the last mile problem. Since our product adds a couple of values to cities and problems in megacities, we've talked to a senator, this time not of India but of Uruguay, that would support our program and would want to have this implemented in Uruguay. And Ricardo will now tell you more about our revenue model and about our cost structure.
So, Lightbike has 6 revenue streams. All users, regular users, members, which are actually enrolled in the scheme online, and occasional users has to pay an access fee. The access fee can be at different levels. It can be daily, it can be monthly, or annual. Plus, of course, you have usage fee. This is dependent on how long you use the bike, and of course, if you return it late, we also think about the late return fee. So please don't return your bike late. Then we also talked about advertising. Advertising is a big source of revenue because you can just think of the impact on the brand exposure of having your logo on 8,000 bikes around the city. This is a huge impact. We have seen it implemented in other cities around the world, like London bike sharing system. Barclays bought it for around 30 million. And so this is a huge advertising source of revenue, not only from the bike, but also from the station fee and all the advertising on the IT system. Let's look at the cost structure. What are the main drivers here? Of course, we have the setting up, the planning, implementation of all the system, the assembling of the bike, distribution, but of course also daily operations costs, which include the allocation of bikes from busy hubs to less business one. And overall, we found out that light bike is a sustainable and profitable business. According to our projections, if we consider an average penetration in 9 different cities, and we have a profit of 155 million. That's quite interesting, but that's not everything.
So the reason we decided to embark on such an innovative journey is because we believe that our beautiful design product is able to challenge, to contribute to the solution of society's biggest challenges. So the numbers you see right now, they are for a project of 5 years implemented in 9 cities all around the world. So let's start with carbon emissions. We believe that by using bikes, we're able to decrease to such extent, carbon emissions to such extent that we can have an impact of 15 million euros every year. Not only that, you can also invest in, yes, you can invest in the environment, yes, you can invest in infrastructure or mobile platform. But let me tell you that there is no better investment than the lives of human beings. So you can save $1.4 billion by reducing the social cost of pollution and also reducing the cost of car accidents. Productivity, by reducing 5% of traffic congestion, you can yield productivity to almost 1.4 billion euros a year. And we can also design this smart energy grid in which the spare energy you have, you can actually contribute to the city. So it's not anymore about social responsibility, it's about users' responsibility. So this is our team, amazing talent, amazing expertise. You can, yes, you're reducing carbon emission, you're improving health, and you're yielding productivity. It is up to you right now to drive the city forward, but drive it green. Thanks.
So thanks a lot for the presentation. You were talking about 9 cities, so which cities do you target?
Well, we're firstly seeing that this model already exists in Boston and London. But what we're trying to do is we give it a twist and we use renewable energy. So our product launch was we first target Uruguay, where the public transportation is right now not so efficient as it could be. So we talked to the senator of Uruguay, Senator Gordaberry, and he told us he was fascinated by the idea. He could really believe about the monetary returns, and he would be interested in knowing what further developments we apply to our idea.
I have 2 questions. One, how did you get to Senator Gordaberry? And second of all, does all the technology needed for this product already exist, or do you have to develop?
The senator is, I have a friend, I'm Argentinian. I am an ambassador of the South American Business Forum, where I met a lot of amazing people just as here. And one of them is the secretary of him, that was an ex-participant from the South American Business Forum.
Concerning the technologies, everything is already out in the market. We have solar panels, we have infrastructures, and we have all the knowledge as European developed countries to develop this kind of systems. Plus, concerning electric bikes, there are already 4 generations of electric motors out in there, and the most efficient ones can have usage of 200 watts per hour with an autonomy of about 150 kilometers. So it's quite a huge impact. And if you think of an average parking lot, and you can park around 10 bikes, you can have a production of about 2 kilowatts. And we calculated also the cost per square meter of this, and it's absolutely sustainable in the long term. then given that we are in urbanized cities, energy production can actually be put back into the grid, so there is no problem of energy storage. We can get the energy back when we need, and then we can reallocate in a smart way the charging of the bikes. So, for example, having sensor of the bikes and giving out first the bike which are fully charged and so on and so forth.
Can I add some more things? We've been doing technical research, and there are other features that we can add also, depending obviously on further changes, but for example, regenerative braking for the battery to regenerate as you brake, literally.
I just came back from Beijing, and there's a lot of electrical bikes there. So what is the innovative element of it? Is it the bike, or is it the system that you are providing, or how can I picture that? I was amazed that there was, for a time, there was no bikes in Beijing anymore. Now suddenly they come back as electric bikes. And are you just having a Me Too business? I'm sorry to provoke you on that, but I thought I want to challenge you.
Okay, so I think nowhere in the world has been implemented a system like this, meaning that there are already out a lot of electric bikes in the market, but most of them are for private use only. So what we are trying to do is a urban project for sustainable transportation, which actually can have a pretty sound financial model behind it, and we can translate this into further expansion in the long term. For example, if this is adopted by the government, you can integrate it with existing transportation system by including vehicles in the subways, and so all the greenest transportation system, which is electric bikes, can be translated into long distances transportation in the cities. And this is not this is something which is not in the market.
So also our product has been differentiated because we're introducing different models of bike. We plan as further analysis to design a bike where you can travel with 2 people in a bike and yield the same efficiency and the same impact. And we also believe in the high barriers of entry in every city, because you don't want a city full of competitors offering the same product. That's not the point. So we're targeting cities where they're fertile and there's no actual pioneer in this renewable source of light bikes.
You know, it's not fair for me to ask questions because I've been working with you all week, right? So I already know most of your answers. So I'm not going to ask you all any question, but I want to mention, comment that from Team 1 to Team 7, you all have done an amazing job. And because you almost killed each other during the process, and how beautiful you all came about. Look at today, everyone is so much a team. Congratulations.